What up, everybody? How we all doing this Saturday night? It's the Transformer Podcast Saturday night live stream main event. Last week we had some technical issues. It was a crazy windstorm over here. We got to get about a good chunk of the podcast done, and then we got cut off. We will try to get back Chris next week so we can answer the questions that were asked to her in the super chats. I apologize for that. Weather was against me, unfortunately. But otherwise, how we all doing? We're back again. It is the end of the year, so just like how I always like to do it at the end of the year, to thank all my patrons, to thank all my YouTube members and everyone who's part of the podcast that helps support us and all the crazy stuff that we do all year. We're going to do a giveaway. We're going to take some super chats. We're going to cover some news. And we're just going to relax for this evening. And next week, because the Saturday is going to fall on Christmas, I might move the live stream maybe to the 26th or maybe sometime earlier. I don't know. You guys let me know. Tell me what days you would think is best. Maybe I'll do a quick poll on the community tab of the YouTube channel or something. Something that kind of, just get an idea of when you guys would want to do it, that it would work out best for everyone. But yeah, so we're going to jump into some news. We're going to do the giveaway. We're going to just ask a question or something, and 4 people will get a choice of all the cool stuff that we're giving away, because we got a whole bunch of cool stuff to give away. Again, courtesy of the cool people at Binth. So we got a cool bunch of stuff to give away. We'll get into that in a moment. Again, only for patrons and YouTube members, the loyal people who have helped support us and make this podcast happen all year round. So we're going to do that. We'll get into the crazy gift box, where we're going to pull out some more stuff that was sent to the P.O. box for the Transformer Slag podcast and see what cool stuff was sent to us. That's a whole other crazy thing there. But let's jump into the news. Essentially, kind of morbid, the beginning of the news. We got 2 deaths in the Transformer world, and it kind of sucks. First one that happened December 3rd, just a couple of days ago, last week. Joji Yanami passed away. Most people would actually better know him for the voice of King Kai or Kaio-sama from Dragon Ball in Japan, the Japanese voice, or Dr. Brief's Bulma's father from Dragon Ball Z. That's what he's probably best known for. Also, at the same time, if you were a big Super Robot fan, he was Professor Genoshuke Yumi, who was the creator of his daughter Sayaka's mecha suit, and he also created the Opie missiles. If anyone knows what those are, you know. And for people who watch Digimon, he was Janai, the little Digidestin kind of mentor character in season 1 of Digimon Adventure. But for the Transformer world, he was the Tripredacus Council member C-Clamp. Had a few lines, but again, an important voice in the voice acting world, especially if you are an anime fan. And I wanted to mention him because of his importance to anime itself, but also the small brush that he had with the Transformer world. So it gives me an excuse to celebrate him. Again, he passed away just a couple of days ago at age 90. So such a shame. Again, he also was well known as the narrator of the episodes of Dragon Ball. Usually like everyone's used to the English dub of, last time on Dragon Ball Z. Well, he was the Japanese voice of that. And I watched a majority of my Dragon Ball in Japanese. So big props to him, awesome stuff. And, rest in peace, Joji. And thank you for all the cool voices and everything. And then we got another one who passed away. this one's a really important one in the Transformer world. You guys probably saw it in the news all over the place this past week. He passed away December 14th, just also a couple days ago. Henry Orenstein. Now, Henry Orenstein, God, where do I even begin with this guy? Major player in the toy world, dating all the way back to the 1950s. Probably his biggest break that really got his name on the map back in the day was the Johnny Lightning diecast car collection line, which he started in the 1950s. And in all honesty, what's kind of crazy when I really think about it, like I probably at one point owned more Johnny Lightning diecast than I did Transformers at one point because of his Speed Racer line that he had at one point, which were fantastic. He was some of the very first Speed Racer diecast was done by the Johnny Lightning line. But his biggest claim to fame that we know him for was he was really good friends with Alan Hassenfeld at Hasbro, who was the former CEO back then. And Alan used to kind of look for Henry for advice when it came to what he think would be good ideas or good properties and stuff like that. And when they were talking about bringing over those Diaclone and Microman toys and repackaging it as a Transformer product, he said, hey, that's a pretty good idea, because Henry, not too long before that, was like, hey, remember when we did Shogun Warriors? Remember when we brought over that super robot stuff and, did it into some Marvel comics and then, had those giant figures and all the crossovers, and then we did some Godzilla stuff and everything? That made us a lot of money. So why don't we do it again, but this time with these transforming robots from two different Takara, properties. And Alan, who looked up to Henry, because Alan was a lot younger than Henry, and saw Henry kind of as this, this big name. Because Henry, he founded Topper Toys in the 50s, and it just worked out so well for him. He ended up being one of the first companies to do plush for Jim Henson stuff like Sesame Street. This guy was mad money back in the day. And he would end up making even more money with other patents and stuff that he would do when it comes to the poker world. That's a whole other story. But he looked up to him, and when he said, hey, you should bring over these transforming robots, I think it's a good idea. Well, the rest is history. So we should, so we could say. So pretty awesome dude. Again, his recognition for what he's done for Transformers and everything cannot be understated. And he was celebrated for it multiple times. There's plenty of articles and interviews that he did while he still was with us about all the creations he did. I love in his own personal house, he has the Master Force equivalency of Lightfoot in that of Getaway, mint in package in his house, which I think is pretty awesome, because he was a Canadian Transformer character in Master Force. So either way, I don't know. I'm just kind of reading too deeply into that, but that's still pretty cool. But either way, again, another important person in the Transformer world that will be missed. And in all honesty, we could point to Bob, we could point to a lot of different people in the Transformer world that were very important. If it wasn't for Henry here, all of this probably would have not happened. If Alan Hassenfeld said to him, hey, Henry, what do you think of these robots? And he said, I ain't feeling it. Well, that would have been it. And then we'd all be looking at Rom the Space Knight or something else or whoever, who knows. But another very important one. So just wanted to cover that too. Two big names. Again, they are going to be missed. And again, he passed away December 14th, 2021. Now, after the downer news, just wanted to cover those. I always like to celebrate people within the Transformer world that have made an impact. And sometimes, they pass away and it quietly happens, and then people don't know about that. And then they do a wiki search years later and go, oh, he passed away. So I wanted to just celebrate those two because those were two really important guys in different places in the world. Let's go into kind of the only piece of news that we really had this week outside of the negative stuff. We had finally some Walmart and Target listings that were 100% confirmed that this is going to be product of stuff that was rumored back in August. We had I'll just pull it up here. We had a huge list of what was going to be the entire Transformers Legacy line from Wave 1 to Wave 3 for 2022. And it was a rumored list. And slowly some of that stuff started to become reality. Stuff that was shown to us from Hasbro, from whether it be a Fan First Friday or one of their panels or something, or even that of the Q&A roundtable. But now we have listings on Target and Walmart that confirm some of the other stuff and now proves that it is legitimate. More specifically, the Wave 2 stuff that we didn't know about. So now we know that, it's legit that we are going to be getting a Deluxe Class Prime Knockout, that we're going to be getting an Elita 1, that we're going to be getting a Beast Wars Tarantulas, that we're going to be getting, I think the Wild Rider was probably a given because we knew we were going to get a Menasor Combiner. But now that's all confirmed 100%, which is really cool. And the same thing, the Wave 2 Core Class, we're going to be definitely getting a G2 Megatron from that Megatron Core Class mold, and a Shockwave. We don't really know the story with that Shockwave, though. A repack of the Core Class Optimus Prime, a repack of the Iguanus, which is going to be part of Wave 1 also. And then, of course, the big one is that we knew we were pretty much given everything that's going to be Wave 2 and 3 of the Voyager class stuff. So the Prime Soundwave, the G-Axis, the Armada Starscream, and the Beast Wars Inferno, which in my opinion is a big one also. So that's a lot of really cool stuff. Now, again, the list that I got before back in August that we covered, I believe the source that I got it from was legitimate, but at the same time, it was only rumors. There was no confirmed kind of paper trail that said any of this stuff was true. When we get those listings in Walmart and in Target, that pretty much solidifies that this stuff is going to happen. And not to mention, because now those listings have showed up, it also gives us a pretty good window of when that stuff is going to happen. Essentially, Transformers Legacy is going to be debuting its Wave 1 stuff April 1st of 2022. There's going to be a lot of stuff in between that Hasbro's going to throw at us, some Kingdom filler and other things here and there. But essentially, Transformers Legacy is going to debut April 1st, 2022. And these listings that we got for this Wave 2 and slight Wave 3 kind of stuff pretty much confirms that the rest of it is probably going to be coming out in that of June or July of 2022, maybe even August. So it really gives us a little bit of a timeline, lets us know what's going to be happening in terms of, dare I say, like how our wallets are going to be for the next couple while. I think that the pushing back of Transformers Rise of the Beast also has a lot to do with the pacing that we got in terms of how everything is being done. So it is very interesting. It is very, very interesting. And also that we're accompanied with those listings, and it's on the top right of the image here, was we got a whole bunch of Studio Series listings for Walmart and Target also. And those are, not big new news, but now at least it confirms that these are legitimate. We had these listings before through rumor mills and all kinds of leaked stuff, but nothing that was from retail that confirms 100% that it's happening. What's up, Larry? So we have here like Core Class Studio Series 86 Spike. The story with that is probably it's going to be a brand new mold. I don't think they're going to take the figure that came with Studio Series 86 Grimlock and just repacked it. I don't think that they're going to, take that Core Class buzzworthy Bumblebee little Spike figure that transformed and repack that. I think we're going to get something 100% from the ground up that actually is a transforming exosuit. And again, it's Studio Series 86, so it's obviously going to be the 86 movie stuff. It's not going to be like, Spike, Headmaster, Fortress Maximus kind of Spike. At least I don't think. It wouldn't make any sense with Studio Series 86. But that's what I think it is. And then they'll probably figure out a way to then, resculpt the head inside that exosuit and give us a Daniel afterwards again, and kind of defeat the purpose of of the. Did I say? I said that's the exosuit came with Grimlock. I meant Slug or Slag. Too much information in my brain today. But yeah, so that's pretty cool. Then, of course, the Deluxe Class TF6 Ironhide and RC. The RC we already saw from the roundtable discussion that Hasbro shot to us, and we have a better idea of how that's going to look. The Ironhide we still don't know yet, but again, if you go back and watch your Bumblebee movie, pause it, and go, okay, I guess they could do something there. and it's probably going to be an extensive retool / repaint of Ratchet. So it's probably not going to be too big a surprise. I just hope that people will be able to get their hands on it. We got a super chat from Detective Ferret. And Detective Ferret wants to know, what toy line did the original G1 Predaking come from? I always assumed it was from Super Sentai. No, G1 Predaking was a brand new tooling by Takara for Takara and Hasbro. Pretty much when you go into 1986, with the exception of like Ultra Magnus, Raiden, I'm turning my head right now, Ultra Magnus, Raiden, and I must be forgetting maybe one other mold, but outside of those two guys, everything was brand new tooling made for Transformers. And something like Predaking that came out in 1987, by that point, everything was made exclusively for the Transformers brand. Predaking was a brand new idea, a brand new concept, straight from the ground up. And even fictionally, like, within Japanese supplemental material, supposedly it was a joint creation by the Decepticons and the Quintessons together. And that's supposedly why if you look in Generation 1 in the cartoon, this isn't consistent, but a majority of Autobots have blue eyes. A majority of Decepticons have red eyes, with the exception of, Swindle has purple and Shockwave has a yellow one. But the Predacons and Predaking all had like yellow and all kinds of weird colored eyes, and that's because of the joint creation with the Quintessons. Again, it's deep cut fiction, essentially. So I hope that kind of answers it. But yeah, those guys didn't come from Super Sentai. If anything, if I would have looked at Predaking and took a guess where he might have come from, and obviously it would be chicken before the egg, but he almost looks like something that would have belonged in the Brave series with all those lion heads, whether it be Gao Geiger, X-Kaiser, or so on. Like, I almost feel like he kind of belongs there more. But then again, Brave came way after G1 Predaking, so just the way I kind of see it. But I hope that answers that super chat question. Thanks for the super chat, Detective Ferret. Getting back to the Transformers Studio Series stuff. So then we have the Voyager class 86 Junk Heap. This is pretty obvious what it's going to be. They're gonna take that Voyager class Wreck-Gar, and they're gonna go to town with him and probably give us maybe 3 repaints out of that and 3 remolds out of it. It's kind of funny how, for the longest time our army builders were either like smaller price point stuff or at most deluxe, primarily through Bakan and everything. And now our army builders are starting to become Voyager class, which I'm pretty sure is pretty hefty on most people's wallets. Pretty crazy. But we have Junk Heap. He's one of the other members. If you want to see what he looks like, look at the individual segment that I did on this just a few days ago. I posted an image of his animation model, so it gives you an idea. It just has a unique head sculpt. So you could have it's not hard to knock him down. It's getting him to stay down. That's the trick. So you could kind of reenact that with Junk Heap and the other Junkions. So no surprise with that one. And last but not least, a leader class 86 Sludge. The question is, number one, are they going to complete the other Dinobots? Are we going to see, 5 seconds? Actually, 5 seconds is probably too much. 2 seconds of Snarl. Are we going to see 2 seconds of Snarl 86 leader class? Are we going to have a Swoop that'll be in the 86 leader class price point, or will he be a Voyager? We don't know that. But we do know we're going to be getting a Sludge due to this listing from Walmart and Target. And the next question is he going to come with an accessory? Because Grimlock came with Wheelie, Slug / Snarl. That's not Snarl. Slag. God, these Dinobot names. Slag / Slug came with Daniel. So is Sludge going to come with somebody? Is he going to come with just some really cool extra accessories? Is he going to come with some pop-out eyes to reenact the 86 movie? Who knows? But it will be interesting to see what they do with the Brontosaurus bot himself. And if they're going to be doing the other two. At least do Swoop. I understand if you don't want to do Snarl and, he's there if you blink, if you miss it kind of thing. But, at least do Swoop. Swoop was a good part of the 86 movie. Had enough lines to justify it. But yeah, that's more or less it. Again, it was a very quiet news week, but the only big thing that I really wanted to talk about was just that we got these listings now in the retail computers. which confirm 100% that this stuff is coming, it is happening, and to keep an eye out for it in probably June, July-ish, I would say, of 2022. So keep your eyes in the aisles and hope for the best when Legacy hits. Last up, I want to talk about just a few more things. So if you haven't already, when you're done watching this today, I have a segment for the Transformer Slag podcast, Top 5 of 2021. Me and Joji do this every single year, where we talk about our top 5 of the 2021. But what we also do is we ask the fans to pick their one singular best figure of the year. If you need instructions on how to figure out how to decide that or whatever, watch the segment. It's like just a couple days from before this recording. It has all the information there, where to get the master list to know what came out when, so you know that you're voting for a 2021 product. And just leave a comment in that segment. I think we're already at like 250 votes now. It's getting pretty crazy. We're going to close the voting either December 24th or December 25th. I'll see how my schedule is, because considering the fact that probably when this is all said and done, we're going to probably be over easily 300 voting. I'm going to have to tabulate all of that one by one and make sure to see there's no double votes and, and all that stuff, and figure out who won voted by the fans. It's definitely not going to be Tigatron, much like how Hasbro, I don't know how that happened with Tigatron. That I feel that's rigged. I don't know. That was a weird one. But yeah, so again, after you're done watching today, if you have the time, check out the segment. The thumbnail looks like exactly like the one on the screen right now. And just vote in the comment of that video to let me know. If you are a Patreon member or a YouTube member, specifically if you're a YouTube member, just vote in the give your vote by leaving a comment, and you'll get a shout out with your specific vote. So I'll give you a shout out as an extra thank you, end of year thank you for being part of the podcast. For my patron people, probably message me through Patreon that way, because I know that my Patreon people, they use all kinds of different names and stuff. They use their real name for their billing and everything, so it's kind of different. So maybe if it's better off, just message me through Patreon and give me your vote, and you'll also get the shout out, and we'll do everything with that. But man, we're getting over like 300 soon, so it's going to be pretty crazy. We got a super chat from Kaz, and he wants to know, will rare Japanese G1 figures ever drop in value? You know what, Kaz? At one point, I wanted to believe that was going to be the case. I always felt that a lot of times Japanese G1 figures, especially back in the day, the only reason why they had that value was, number one, because they were Japanese and difficult to get, and number two, there was no modern equivalencies of them. Like I always felt if there was like a new Minerva figure that was way better than the original one, people wouldn't care about that new one anymore, that original Master Force one anymore. But then around like 2015, the Chinese market started buying up all the Japanese Transformers and using proxy people. And it just made it extremely difficult to get a lot of stuff cheaply. I think sooner or later, what's going to happen is it's just going to even out. And what I mean by that is the prices were pretty crazy back in like, let's say 2001, 2005. And what I mean by that was, you could get a Star Saber for like 150, 200, and you could get a Minerva for 1,000. And then the crazy numbers happened after 2015, where Minerva's $2,000, Star Saber's, $300 to $500, Grandis is $1,000. I think that as time progresses and that starts to cool off, and the G1 collectors don't care anymore, or they get older and they start emptying out their collection, and a lot of those characters end up getting better equivalencies of them that people rather have, I think what'll happen is those numbers will even out. It won't return to like super cheap, but at least they'll be better than what they are right now. Because right now it's like, if you're like the only complete Grandis on eBay, you're going to be asking like $1,500, even though I was going to BotCon in 2008 and Grandis was $400. It's just the demand kind of got a little crazy because a whole other market opened up with China, and they started buying out a lot of our stuff. And over time, what sucks with it going to China is it's probably lost to China, because if China decides to resell it, they're probably not going to go to eBay to resell it. They're probably just going to sell it within their own I guess, media and their own social media and their own stuff. So those ones are lost. So that's a whole other story too in terms of what happens to the product. It's kind of the problem that's happening in Japan right now, where a lot of people are buying Japanese video games in the West are buying Japanese video games, and those are leaving the secondary market in the Japanese market, and they're not liking that. So, that's a whole other story. But yeah, I hope that helps a little bit. I mean, it's not really good news. I mean, it depends what you're looking for individually. I mean, there's a big difference between, like, let's say G1 Star Saber, that there's a lot of those out there, as opposed to, say, a Black Shadow or Raiden or some of the others that are a little more difficult and pricey. But that's a whole other story. What's up, Aaron? Cringe McCringle with the super chat. It's funny, Aaron, you just came in because you're the next slide. Cringe McCringle with the super chat. Good evening, Proto and my fellow Robo peeps. Good to see you too, Cringe. Welcome to the madness. Welcome to the craziness. So again, guys, if you haven't done your voting, go check it out. Go vote. And, just do it after the stream. Just do it after the stream, pretty much. Again, it's literally was just a couple days ago we did it. So, and again, voting closes December 25th. Next up, because Aaron's here. Good timing, Aaron. We just posted a couple days ago the latest episode of the Toy Armada with Aaron Archer. The long-awaited for this fandom. Episode 1, well, part 1, it's episode 4 of the Toy Armada, but it's part 1 of the Transformers Armada deep dive. It's going to be a multi-part series because there's just way too much to cover that me and Aaron would get tired if we had to do a 6-hour podcast. So part 1 essentially is all pre-production stuff, how Aaron ended up on the Transformers Armada team, his trip to Japan, drinking with the boys, shenanigans, veneering, line art designs of Megatron, the stories behind, everything. I don't want to say too much. Go listen to it. It's a great listen. There's a lot of cool stuff that's mentioned there, a lot of cool images too. It's a very visual podcast, this one. So if you have a good, I guess it's like an hour and 20 minutes, I think. If you have a good hour and 20 minutes or so, sit down. Part 1 is up on the Toy Armada with Aaron Archer channel. If you haven't subscribed yet, what are you doing? Why are you subscribing to me if you're not subscribing there? So go subscribe there. If you can't find it, if somehow you can't search for it or something, it's also part of the channel tab on the podcast. If you go to our channel tab, we have our affiliated channels of Hasbro, Takara, and of course Aaron's channel. So be sure to check that out. Really good stuff. Alejandro with the super chat for 5 bones. Trivia question. What's the name of the fighting game that Optimus Prime is one of the playable fighters? Good to see you again, Proto. Good to see you too, Alejandro. I'm going to assume you're talking about the PlayStation 2 game, or the PlayStation 1 game of Dream Fighter, which was a Takara / Konami / God, what other was mixed in there? Oh, it was Konami, Hudson Soft, and Takara. It was the Dream TV fighter, which had Beyblade, Transformers, Michi-chan from Takara. It had Simon Belmont. There's so much craziness with that. It had some stuff from also Konami franchises that we're not too familiar with in terms of video games, like Baseball Pon, which is a franchise that we never really got here. Dream Mix TV World Fighters. That's it. That's the full name of it. Japan with their long names. What is the full name of the Beast Wars Game Boy game? It's like Super Transforming Life Form, Ultimate Battle, Deluxe Miss Beast Wars, Second, whatever. Like super long name. So I assume you're referring to that one. That's probably there's not many fighting games that have Generation 1 Optimus Prime in them. So that's usually the first one that comes to mind for me. And that one also had repaints, like you could actually have different skins for Optimus. So you could have Nemesis Prime, you could have Powered Convoy, aka Blue Optimus Prime. They didn't have Ultra Magnus, oddly enough. He wasn't in it. They didn't do a white repaint. And then even Megatron's an unlockable character, and you could have his gold repaint, his Diaclone repaint. There's a bunch of levels that have Transformers in the background, like Devastator. It's a wacky game. It's very similar to, I guess, Smash Brothers, I guess is the best way to put it. It's kind of like a Smash Brothers clone in a lot of ways. But I hope that kind of helps you out, puts you in that direction. It's a pretty good game, and you could get it pretty cheap right now too. A lot of people they sleep on that game. They don't really care much about it. I know that mind you, it's not a good example. I picked it up. Man, when did I pick that up? I picked that up in 2010, I want to say. So easily like 11 years ago. I think I got it for like $9. Now, obviously, it's probably gone up a little bit since then. But I mean, if back then, when it was already like almost a 10-year-old game, it was $9, I'm pretty sure the market didn't go up too much for it since then. Unless the Beyblade guys are like, we got to get, Tyson, a.k.a. Takao, or something. I don't know. Just my hot take on that. But anyways, hope that answers your question, Alejandro. And thanks for the super chat, brother. And thanks for being here today. So yeah, again, check out the Toy Armada, guys. Check out the Toy Armada. Just want to give a shout out to our sponsors who are chilling in the back over there, our whole crew, and of course our t-shirt and our pin. Symbiote Studios, the plush, the pins, and the t-shirts. SymbioteStudios.com. They recently have updated their website with all new stock, whole bunch of new stuff. San Diego Comic-Con is now behind them, and the opportunities to pick up all the new product is available. Wave 1, 2, and 3 of their plush series is live, as well as the SDCC exclusive and LA Comic-Con exclusive Unicron, which is chilling back there. He is massive. Just to give you a little bit of a scale difference there with the convoy. Also the t-shirts. We have their Cat Bravo t-shirt and their pins and everything. Good stuff. Definitely check them out. SymbioteStudios.com. Go under the Transformer section. But if you're not interested in the Transformer section, but you want some other Hasbro-related plush and pins, check out their G.I. Joe stuff. Check out their My Little Pony stuff and their Power Ranger stuff. They have some other stuff in terms of Power Rangers coming very soon, so be sure to check that out too. Really, really, really cool stuff. And of course, most importantly, is Jaws D in the chat? Oh, Jaws D's in the chat. It was PS2. There he is. Jaws D's in the chat. I just saw his name now. And of course, we're going to be having a Wave 4 coming up soon. So there's Wave 1 that we had in summer of 2020, Wave 2 in winter of 2022, Wave 3 in summer of 2021, and then of course in winter we had the SDCC exclusive, which was pretty awesome and pretty huge. Again, look at him. Look how big that guy is. Look how huge he is. But for Wave 4, going into the new year, we have a whole bunch of other plushes that are on their way. I've already seen most of them. They look pretty good. But you'll get the official images very soon. I'm pretty sure any sharp-eyed Transformer fan could figure out what's going on over here. But be sure to tune in the future when we get the images and everything for that. You'll probably find out first about all of these right here on the Transformer Slag podcast. So be sure to check those out. Pretty hype stuff. And that is that. Now then, guys, that's it more or less for the news. Let's do the giveaway that we have this week. Last week we did a really good giveaway. I'll just shout out the names again. Again, the giveaway only applies to YouTube. I have my little post-it here. Giveaway is applied only to YouTube members and Patreon guys. So if you're a Patreon dude, say your answer, because I'm going to ask a question with your Patreon name, so I know you're a Patreon member. If you're a YouTube member, I'll be able to see because of the icon next to you. I have my mod in the chat, John. He's watching on the other end, and he's going to see your answers, and then we're just going to put everything in a hat and take a guess. I just want to give a shout out to last week's winners of Downright Superb, who, if I remember correctly, he took the bot bots, I think. Horned Owl, Stinkfist69, love that name, and Ben Williams. All your prizes are already in the mail if you not have gotten them already. We tried to ship them out Tuesday last week. I think Ben Williams, you're in the UK, so it might take a little longer. So just be patient. Hopefully you can get it to you before the holiday season. A lot of really cool stuff. We gave like a $50 bots giveaway. We gave some Kingdom toys. But this time around, what do we got for you guys? Let me just open up. So we got some good prizes this time around. Again, courtesy of the awesome people at Binth. Binth has provided us all our prizes. They are awesome people. Be sure to check out their website. They're the people that were behind the Unicron upgrade kit, where you could turn your HasLab Unicron into 2 Unicrons. So What do we got here? What do we got here? So the first prize we have here, number one, we got a Transformers War for Cybertron Netflix edition deep cover. Now, this deep cover is actually missing its smaller gun. So to make up for it, what we included instead is a third-party giant Gatling gun as an extra accessory to make up for that. And heck, it makes your deep cover a little different and awesome. What's up, Damon? So that's prize number one. Prize number two is Generation Selects Hasbro Pulse exclusive Chromar, aka your Mailway exclusive G1 1984 Transformers. So, or the Power Dashers as we called them back in the day. So that's prize number two. Prize number three, and this is a really good one, is so Zodeki was a line that did statues of G1 Transformers. And when they did the Starscream, they did two chase versions. One that was available at Walgreens and one that was available at GameStop. And it was that of Thundercracker and Skywarp. And these were very tough to get. You get the pair of two of them, the chase ones, if you want that one. And last but not least, we have the Rachtonite from Transformers War for Cybertron Kingdom, the last of the fossilizers. Actually, Wing Thing I think would count also as last of the fossilizers. But add to your fossilizer collection, army build, and make a crazy giant Dinobot. A Volcanicus with bones, if you will. So you have a choice of one of those four, if you will. Dedicated to all of my YouTube members and patrons. So the question is, and you could just post it below, and John will take care of it. Don't harass John. The question is, like last week, name one of the Wave 4 Symbiote Studios plushes that will be coming out in 2022. That's all you got to say. And John will message me in another window and let me know. We're not going to announce the winners just yet. We'll give it some time to build up. And then we put it in a hat and we pull them out and we'll get everything like that. But again, so let's get those answers in and you guys will be able to pick from some good stuff. And we're going to hopefully, I'm hoping that we could potentially get at least one more giveaway in before Christmas. I would like to. If not, maybe we'll try to do something after Christmas and I'll have a late end of year giveaway or something. Because I got a bunch of other stuff I want to give away to you guys as a thank you. So we're going to try to figure something out because again, I'm going to, at some point, guys, I'm going to ask on the community tab next week, when do you think would be the best time to do the podcast? Because Saturday falls on the 25th, and I don't want to do anything on Christmas. I'll be honest with you. Kind of want to be with family and friends on Saturday night, especially in the craziness that we have right now. So let's try to figure out something, and then I could do one more for all y'all. Hopefully. I don't know. We'll see. So I'm just waiting for John. John is messaging me. Okay, John has the 4 names. Now he's putting a whole bunch in a hat. And he's going to do it. Just a reminder, guys, again, if I say your names, try to contact me through Twitter, or if you're a Patreon member, try to contact me through Patreon just so I could get it because I have to get your address and do all that kind of stuff. So we will see what happens. I'm going to message John and tell John, be sure not to repeat names. We will repeat names probably next week, but just I don't want to repeat the names from last week. So, okay, he didn't repeat the names from last week. Okay, good. But anyone who won last week, you will be able to win again next week. I just don't want to have repeats 2 weeks in a row. I want to give everyone an opportunity of my patrons to win something. So, yeah, that's that. While John is doing some tabulating of everything, let's get into something else. We have the gift box. Oh, it's this way. We have the gift box. So the P.O. box had a bunch of stuff sent to it from the fans. Mikey and Louie sent a crazy amount of presents, beautifully gift wrapped. Look at that. Look at that. We opened some of it last week. We are going to open some more this week. It'll be kind of exciting. It'll be kind of cool. So we'll see what happens with that. Before we do that, we got a super chat. The Sheepinator 2000, one and a quarter, I guess. Hey, Proto, just wanted to know your thoughts on Masterpiece and if you think Hasbro Takar will ever expand the line into other continuities. Well, you know, they've tried. They've tried. They did a voting, I want to say it was about 4 years ago, and Armada Optimus Prime got really high on that voting. And because Armada, aka Micron Legend, was actually quite successful over there in Japan. And we just never saw anything of it. I mean, look, they're dabbling with Beast Wars. They tried stuff with Brave, and that didn't work out. But I'm sure we're going to see something. There's only so many times you could give us Starscream, Shockwave, Hot Rod, and all of them again and again. I think, personally, I think if they're going to go outside of the Generation 1 ongoing and Beast Wars, I think the first thing we're going to see is Armada. That's what I think will be the first one. Not counting, like, you know, Takara exclusive stuff like Headmasters, Master Force Victory. I still consider that G1. But if you're talking other continuities, movie stuff is one continuity. We know we get masterpieces of that. So the only other stuff would be like Unicron Trilogy, you know, animated. I don't think that we'll see Masterpiece animated anytime soon. Transformers Prime, I don't know about that either. And then it's like, well, Cyberverse Masterpiece. I think that's a little too soon. Just, you know, that's just my take. But we will see. We will see. So let's crack open some gifts in the meantime. John, are you done? Oh, John's still not done. He's still writing down names. So we're going to crack open. I'm going to do a few loose ones first. So these were all from Mikey and Louie. Again, the crazy gift box. Whole bunch of stuff. This is, and I love, I just wanted to show, like, man, like the Super Mario ones with Peach and everything. That's amazing. And then they have this Wreck-It Ralph one. Look at that. Isn't that cute? That is awesome. I didn't even know there was Wreck-It Ralph Christmas wrap. This one I'm going to be careful to open because I want to keep the design. It's so cool. So cool. So we're going to open up this first one here. It looks like it's a loose figure. So let's crack that one open. Again, shout out to Mikey and Louie with the cool stuff. Let's see what we got in here. We got, I don't have this one. So I want to preface also, they messaged me and they asked me, like, oh, what are you missing in your collection? So I was like, oh, I'm missing so much stuff. I'm missing so much. So this is the later wave Titans Return Getaway, a.k.a. Lightfoot for the Headmaster, the Master Force fans. Don't have him. That is really awesome. As a Canadian collector, you got to get your Canadian Transformer. I guess this is supposed to be Lightfoot, the Canadian character. Isn't that awesome? Obviously it's not Lightfoot. It's supposed to be Getaway, but same mold, same spirit. Awesomeness. Thank you, Mikey and Louie. Getaway. Getaway now. Now I'm going to make a mess with all the wrapping paper. Oh my God. Yesterday I saw I had the sweep and everything. It was crazy. Let's do another loose one. We got a tiny one here. Some DC wrap on there. Some DC wrap. It's a tiny figure. What do we got here? What do we got here? What do we got here? It's purple. It's purple. Oh! It's one of these Spark Bots from the... before we had Core Class, I guess it was called Legends Class or whatever. Cindersaur, which used Dinobot Slash's mold. Wonder if this retroactively makes it a female character too then. I don't know. Another one I was missing. Pretty awesome stuff. That is really cool. That is really, really cool. I like this one especially because, again, it uses that Slash mold, which really... Here, I'll just transform it quickly. There's just that part. Which really didn't get enough love, unfortunately. First female Dinobot, man. Come on, you gotta talk more about Slash. Maybe it's because it was named after a Ninja Turtle character too. Who knows? And a fantastic guitarist. Another awesome one. Thank you. Maybe we'll open a boxed one. Let's open a boxed one here. Let's go with this big one. This one has some Marvel stuff here. The Avengers with my cap. See? Whoop. I already saw it. I'm already like, it is Rodimus Prime. so I can army build my Rodimus Primes. Power of the Primes, Rodimus Prime. That is awesome. Power of the Primes, Roddy. Now I could have it in both modes. Could have it in regular hot rod and super hot rod mode with his pants. Got to put on his pants. That is awesome. Someone knows my love for the man, the chosen one. That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. And let's open. Should we open one more? One more. I'm gonna open one more loose one. I want to you know what? I'm gonna save some loose ones. Let's open up another boxed one here. This one's pretty obvious what it's probably gonna be, judging by the shape. This looks like it's probably a Kingdom product, or maybe no, it could also be, or it could be Siege. Could be Siege. Just want to see if Mikey and Louie have been saying anything. No, okay. Larry says here, "I'll get your stuff to you soon." I know, Larry. Larry, it's no worry, brother. It's no worry. Look, it's a crazy time in the world right now. Detective Ferret says, what was the first female Transformer? In Western retail, it's Black Arachnia. In Eastern retail, it's Minerva. And I don't count retroactively female characters, because then, they retroactively turned one of the Tycho Transformer race car set characters. I think Freezon was turned into a female character retroactively, but I don't count that. I'm talking legitimately. Black Arachnia was the first ever retail female Transformer toy. And on the Japanese side, it was Minerva. And the first ever RC we ever got, technically, in terms of a transforming retail Transformer, was actually the Energon one. That was the very first RC that was retail, was the Energon version, which technically wasn't even RC. It was supposed to be Ariel, aka Elita 1, in Super Link. Hope that answers that. So let's crack open this one. Let's see. Actually, I'll crack open it so you guys get to see it first. Oh, I'm gonna rip it. Because by the way, I saved the wrapping paper of this one and the other one. I have it upstairs. So it is. Oh, another one to enjoy of my favorite part. My favorite part of Earthrise was the modulators, aka the MicroMaster bases, and last year, one of my top Transformers of 2020 was the Grease Pit repaint of this, because I think this mold is fantastic. I think Jaws D, I think you also voted for this, but you voted for the Ironworks version, correct? I remember, because this mold is fantastic. If anyone could get their hands on it, pick it up. I love these guys. I wish they continued it. I really do wish they continued doing more of these play sets. I guess they just didn't sell well, and I have terrible taste. I don't know. But again, thank you, Mikey and Louie. This will grow the army of cities of MicroMasters. And last but not least, let's do one more. I want to do five a listing. Let's do one more. Let's do... You know what? Let's do this Wreck-It Ralph one. But unfortunately, I'm going to have to, because I love the wrapping paper too much, I'm just going to have to just be a little careful with this one, because I want to save this wrapping paper. I think it's so cute. I think it's absolutely adorable. Alrighty. I think I can open it like that. And I don't want to spoil myself to know what it is until I think that helped a little bit. There we go. It's going to spoil me on... Oh my god. Guys, you're not going to believe what it is. I just dropped my X-Acto. You ready for this? You ready for this? You ready for this? Oh shit! Thank you, Mikey and Louie. Oh, snap. Hasbro Pulse exclusive, Covert Agent Ravage, 2-pack. Oh my god, I don't even want to open this. It looks so good just in the package. Look at that. Look at that. Look at that. This was a beast to get for Quebecers. It was really tough to get because Hasbro Pulse thinks Quebec is on the moon. And it's in the best wrapping, too. I'm going to save that one. That aside. Oh, snap. That is awesome. Save the best for last, eh? Holy moly. I don't know how you could top that one. I don't know how you could top that one. That is amazing. I love this thing. I just love the packaging, how it has like Decepticons forever, and you could put it in there. That's so cool. That is so cool. That is so cool. Michael Cool says, Hasbro Pulse only let you order one, too. What the F? You know what? At least they were able to order it. You know? In Quebec, it was like, you want to order this? Yeah. $60 shipping. It's like, what? $60 USD? Okay. I guess I'm just going to have to find another way. Thank you so much. That is awesome. That is awesome. That is super, super awesome. Holy moly. Holy moly. Alrighty. I guess I got to give back now. So John has the list for me. Oh, I have a super chat too. Let me just do the super chat first. Where is it? What happened to Red Alert after Transformers Armada? Well, in theory, Red Alert because he was a Earthbound Autobot, got his new design. During Superlink, aka Energon, he wasn't present, but he did come back in Cybertron. So, but mind you, Cybertron, aka Galaxy Force, is technically a different continuity on the Japanese side of things, but that's a whole other story. But he did come back. There is supplemental material on Red Alert's Cyber Key, specifically his Cybertron Cyber Key, that if you went on Hasbro's website, it explained what happened in between. And he was just on Earth, chilling, being a medical bot, doing his thing. Make room for more characters to sell toys. Probably the best way to put it. But yeah. Okay, so let's give away some toys. All right, boys and girls. All right, boys and girls. So John has the list for me here. Let me just pull up the giveaway. So, here how this is going to work is I have winners 1, 2, 3, 4. So, number 1 is going to get first choice. Number 2 is going to get second choice. Number 3 is going to get third choice. Number 4 is stuck with whatever's left. I apologize. It is only to be fair. That's just how it is. Otherwise, you guys are going to fight over stuff. Who knows? So, just to make it fair. But yeah. So, let it begin. The number 1 winner is Star Max. Congratulations, Star Max. You will get your first choice of whatever. Star Max, I believe you're a patron. So just contact me on Patreon. Let me know what your choice is, which one you want, and send me your address. And we will have it on its way ASAP, hopefully by Tuesday. That's my mailing day. Number 2 is Princeton. Phalanx 59 or whatever the number is. I screwed up the number there. But Princeton is number 2. So Princeton, I believe you are a YouTube member. So if you can, just contact me, I guess, through some other means, whether it be Twitter, Instagram. Let me know what's happening, Captain. And send me your number 2 pick. Obviously, whatever Star Max does not take. Number 3, we got Joey Z 1231. Joey Z 1231, who I believe is a Patreon member. So again, Joey, contact me through Patreon. I'll let you know, let me know your 1, 2, 3, 4. Let me know in order which is most important, what's least important. And hopefully your choice is still available. And last place, but still a winner, even in last place, is Tom Laney. Tom Laney wins also. So that is our winners for this time around. And we're hopefully, again, guys, I'm going to probably do a semi-poll on the community tab to find out when next week we could do another one of these, because we still have plenty left. And I want to give back before the year is up, because you guys were insanely supportive. The podcast has exploded. The big V was a blessing in disguise, let me tell you, in a lot of ways. So we'll figure out something. We'll do another for the brothers and sisters. And that is that. That is crazy. My goodness. Oh, let me just grab. I don't want to open this, but it looks so good in the package. Oh my god. And I want to do like a side-by-side with the actual original Ravage. Ooh, this is going to be tough for me. I'm going to be so conflicted. Larry, you say you have that figure? Do you have it opened loose? Maybe I could just do a photo shoot quickly with yours. Oh, man. Oh, man, that is really cool. That is really awesome. But again, congrats to everybody and all the cool stuff. And all the cool stuff that was sent. So we'll definitely do the gift box again next week. We'll rummage through it. We still got, no joke, there's got to be at least another, I want to say 20 presents left. So this might actually bleed over into next year, I think. We'll see what happens. There's a lot of stuff. You people are crazy, but I love you people. But you're crazy, but I love you people. So again, shout out to StarMax, Princeton, Joey Z, 1231, and Tom Laney, the winners of this week. And again, just for the heck of it, just to give a shout out to my past ones. Last week's winners of Downright Superb, Horned Owl, Stinkfist 69, and Ben Williams. We shall see what happens next week. We shall see. See some awesome stuff. So let's just do some super chats, guys. We'll relax for the rest of the evening. I'm going to have to do a lot of photo shoots. This is going to be coming to Instagram very soon. They even did clear wheels. That's really cool. It's like Speedia. I didn't realize the wheels were clear on him. That's really cool. That is really cool. Let's see. Michael Koo with the super chat. What's your opinion on TF Generation Legends Wind Charger? And TF Generations Wind Charger just had that slightly different color scheme, eh? I remember that one. That because I remember they did a 2-pack, but that was part of the United line, and that came with that homage to Tripredacus, to Triptychon's little robot. Trying to think how that other one looked. I don't remember because what mold did that use? Did that use the Thrilling 30 one and they repainted it? I don't remember that one. Because I know that we had that 2-pack that was part of United in Japan, but that one was very popular mold. I remember when that one came out. That was like a go-to. That was when the Scout class during Revenge of the Fallen and Transformers 2010. That's when like every Scout figure was like a 10 out of 10 winner. The Reveal of the Shield. Okay, so it was the Reveal of the Shield one, the Transformer 2010 one. That mold is amazing. And it has the flip out stuff. Like I'm looking, I have the Japanese one, I have the American one because I got the 2-pack because I wanted that dark one there. Amazing mold. Amazing mold. And I still think it's probably the best Wind Charger toy we have thus far. And I know at some point, we're getting all our mini bots as deluxes. So at some point, we're going to get a full-size Wind Charger. And that'll be pretty awesome. I keep looking over here because I'm looking at it right now. He's all the way over there. You can't see him, unfortunately. So, too bad. And then I screwed up the camera. But yeah, I think that's a fantastic mold. If you could get your hands on it, any of those Scouts, like what was another one that was really good? That one there that was like that was kind of like an armored vehicle. What was the name of that one? It was like roller, but not roller, and he came with all those 3mm clip points and stuff. Forget his name. Really good one too. That was a movie toy. Would have loved to use that with the Hasbro, the Fun Publication stuff. Really cool. Timmy K. Poindexter Jr. Esquire with the super chat for 5 bones wants to know, yo, Proto, if you were the greatest chef, what would be your signature dish or entree? Well, my favorite food in the world, if that was my signature dish, people would think I'm crazy because I love Chinese food. But what would be my signature dish? What is something that's white boy that I really like? A good Western dish. Well, I guess it would have to be poutine. You know what? I'll tell you something. I used to work at Burger King back in the day. I worked there for 6 years. 6 years, and it was fun. I miss working there. Super fun working with those dudes. And everyone used to say how I made the poutine sauce very well. Which in all honesty, I didn't do anything special. I had a drinking cup that we used for the small kids cups, and I always fill that with the poutine sauce, and I would use that and mix it with hot water. And everyone said the way I did it was really good. So I guess I make a really good poutine, apparently. That's about it. I didn't do much cooking at Burger King. Apparently I was too good for the kitchen. They put me in drive-through right away because that's the hardest job. But I miss working at BK. Shout out to my BK people, whoever's still working in the back there. But I'd say it'd have to be a poutine. It would have to be it'd have to be either a poutine or some kind of awesome Montreal bagel, because I love Montreal bagels. Oh, now you guys are making me hungry, and it's 9 o'clock at night here in Montreal. You guys are killing me. Ugh. But I'll go with a poutine, a good poutine. Anyone who's come to Montreal, contact me. I will take you to the best poutine. Well, when the world's back to normal and we can actually go to restaurants proper, I'll take you to the best poutine you'll have in your life. Michael Koo. Oh, wait, no. Downright Superb said something. Downright Superb Proto, do you ever think streaming simultaneously on multiple platforms? I also heard stuff like Streamlabs is better for super chats. People have told me about Streamlabs because it's good for hosting guests and stuff, like having multiple people. I'm going to probably look more into that when I upgrade my system. I wanted to upgrade my computer system last year, and then we all know what happened with the Zoom boom and the camera prices and everything. All of a sudden, a $1,000 computer became a $3,000 computer. So when that quiets down a little bit, because it still unfortunately has not quieted down, I'm going to upgrade my system, bring me to the 21st century, and then I'll look into probably another streaming platform. But I really like YouTube. YouTube has been good to me. YouTube has always been good to me. I like it as a platform. Twitch is good if you do multiple long form. And I find that in the case of Twitch, while it's also a good platform to use, my buddy Cooksucks uses it to great success. I find that for the Transformer community, I don't think Twitch is as good. I want to have my community tab where we could share stuff and talk about stuff. I want to be able to, have a good comment section that we could all have discussions and have pinned comments and stuff like that. Twitch doesn't really foster that, unfortunately. So I really like more what YouTube has, but who knows what the future brings? Maybe Twitch will fix itself up and become a contender, become a good contender for podcast stuff. We shall see. Nothing's ever set in stone. Look, this podcast at one point was just an MP3 file on a Canadian website. That's how it used to be back in the day. And then it was when me and Jaws D started really taking it over. It was just an MP3 file on archive.org back in the day. So, there's always an evolution. When you have a podcast, we started this in 2009. So when you've been around for more than 10 years, technology moves quickly and you got to move with it. So who knows what the future will bring with that. Breacher was the name of that Transformer I was talking about. Thank you. Hunt for the Decepticons Breacher. Fantastic mold. If there is one scout class you get, of all the scout classes that the movies have put out, you get Breacher. I regret never getting to use that at BotCon as a brand new mold. I would have done so many color schemes with that. I would do like a mini convoy color scheme. I would have done like a mini brawn color scheme, Cybertronian brawn. Oh God, I would have gone to town on that mold. Gone to town on it. Paint the flow. Okay, so where was down? Michael Koo, Protoman, thanks. Just got him because he's on sale on Amazon.us. That's awesome, man. It's a really good mold, and I like that it has the flip out weapons too, which is an homage to his episode appearances. Stinkfist69, I'm here. What's up, everyone? What's up, Stinkfist? Ben Williams, the usual slop, high on static. Okay, we got Princeton Phalanx. Princeton with the gold super chat. What's up, Princeton? Hey, Protoman, do you think Hasbro will get a new market team since they have been shitty with their marketing efforts with HasLab and their other lines like T-Formers, G.I. Joe, etc.? Well, each marketing team, unfortunately, is tied to one specific brand. It's not just one marketer that handles all the brands. So pretty much what I could say is, from what I've seen with Transformers, is their marketing team rotates all the time. Every 2 years or so, there's a new crew of people. So if something sucks, there'll be new people within the next 2 to 3 years, if not next year for sure. The only thing that does suck, if we have someone that's really awesome, we might lose them too. So who knows? You guys know how I feel about some of their marketers and how they could be doing a better job. But again, hopefully they'll shape up and do stuff. Look, I feel that, a lot of people are at home right now, and because a lot of those corporate guys, they had to get the whole Zoom setup and everything. They're able to do these announcements and do this kind of hype stuff from home now because they have the setup for it. We saw through the the Hasbro Pulse Q&A with Mark and Evan and the other designers, how there is a platform for that. There is a way to do that kind of stuff. So hopefully we'll see more of that in the future. I mean, look at all the leaks we just talked about today, and still the stuff from Wave 1 that hasn't been talked about publicly. Like, we still don't know, Iguanus. Iguanus is going to be part of Wave 1 core class. We still haven't seen him yet. So maybe we'll get an Iguanus kind of surprise. Skywarp apparently is going to be part of that too. Like, I mean, let me just, the leaked image here. All that stuff that's in the image there. Maybe I'll blow it up. One sec. Unlock and blow up. We could blow it up as high as we can here. Like it's something where, I mean, everyone that's in that image is Wave 1. So on the right side there, we got Iguanus and we got Skywarp for the core class. We haven't seen those yet. Now, Skywarp's pretty obviously going to be core class Starscream from Kingdom. But Iguanus, I want to see what that is, man. There's some kind of lizard stuff going there based off of that old Pretender shell. So I really want to see what's up with that, I really do. But that's a matter if they... Look, this was a quiet week. We got no news this week from Hasbro. They could have done a Fan First Friday and just go, hey, just a reminder of this product that we've already talked about. And, oh, by the way, Iguanus. Just keep that, I call it water cooler conversation. Every week you should have something where people gather and go, hey, did you see that? Did you hear about that? And create the buzz so that it's a consistent interest in the line and it doesn't just fizzle out. The second the eyeballs go elsewhere and they go, wow, there was nothing about Transformers this week. Oh, I like this thing now because this thing is new and hot. You lose them. You don't want to lose them. But thank you for the gold super chat, Princeton, and your prize will be coming in the mail soon. We got another super chat from Sam Dermody. I apologize, Sam. With, looks like it's £5 in recent interviews, Marty Eisenberg said that his two biggest influences for writing animated was the Iron Giant and Lilo and Stitch. Interesting. I wouldn't have imagined that. I know that Derek has always been very outspoken of his influences and stuff. Iron Giant I could see a little bit, but even then, I don't know. Like, I guess the Lilo and Stitch connection is Sorry, Pacific Islander, in the case Sorry is Indian and Cybertronian. Little girl meets an alien, in the case of Bumblebee or Stitch, I guess. Maybe that's the connection. I don't remember Lilo and Stitch very well. I haven't seen that movie in like 20 years. No joke, it's been 20 years. Saw it at an ex-girlfriend's house. Iron Giant pretty much was an homage to Giant Robo, or Johnny Sacco, whatever the dub name was for Giant Robo. Kind of was like a throwback to that. So, I think Derek's influences are much more clear cut and obvious when he talks about them. The Iron Giant one, I don't know. It's giant robots, giant robot, and that's a great movie too. Iron Giant. Get the get the VHS edition that came with an action figure. That's the best version. Not even the DVD. There's a VHS version that came with an action figure. It's pretty cool. That's interesting. I never heard that. Never heard that from Marty. Marty hasn't done as many panels and talks as Derek has. Derek's the face of the brand in a lot more of ways, even though they both equally had a lot to do with it. Michael Koo says, Beast Wars original reissue fans, check out Walmart. 50% off vintage Beast Wars Optimus Primal and Megatron, as well as the Cheetor and the Rat Trap. Princeton, Michael, I hope that sale comes to Canada, because I mean, I don't need to own the Cheetor, but I would like to kind of own a carded reissue Cheetor. I mean, I have an original, Beast Wars Cheetor carded hanging on the wall over there. It's the soft bubble version, unfortunately. But it'd be cool to own it, just because the box art is gorgeous on them. It's so sexy. Stinkfist69 says, I got my Cheetor Cyberverse figure yesterday. Oh, you got it already? Okay, good. Stuff is starting to show up. Nice. You got your Cyberverse Cheetor. Princeton says, there's a Star Wars Black Series figures out at stores, and Hasbro has not even mentioned them yet. Bro, I don't know. That's, again, each group, Marvel Legends, the Power Ranger team, the Ghostbuster team, the Transformer team, the Star Wars team, they all have different marketing teams. They all have different people. So, and again, they're all sitting at home, man. Like, come on. Like, just get in a camera and go, guys, hey, this is happening. Go in stores, Walmart.com. Like, if my dumb butt could do that, come on. I'm not even talented. I don't even know what I'm doing half the time. This isn't even a professional podcast. I'm just sponsored by weird people that love what I do. Speaking of sponsors, might as well just give them another shout out. Symbiote Studios, check them out. They're awesome. Just wanted to give them another shout out. And be sure to check out on Netflix Bumblebee, Cyberverse Adventures, the 2 movies. Downright Superb says, Proto, do you think the Kingdom Legacy combination lines are the best idea? Will they ever go all out on non-movie line again? I don't really. Yes and no. I'll answer that after. Beast Wars stuff seems to be insanely popular. I doubt Skids will be. Well, to answer the first part, we're probably going to get something that is, a mixture line. And I think that that's going to be the continuing thing, only because they want to not just cater to one audience, not just straight up 100% G1. And now, because look, it used to be, okay, who's the older fans that are the people with money? G1 fans who are in the 80s and Beast Wars fans in the 90s. But now those 2000s kids who grew up on Armada, who grew up on Energon, Cybertron, movie stuff, Transformers Prime animated, they're in their 20s now. They have their first job, but they still live with their parents. So they get their first job, they get their paycheck, and then they go, ooh, I don't have to spend all my money because I don't have to pay bills. They could make, irresponsible, expensive decisions and buy product. So you have to cater to that market too. So now you have to make these lines that are not, like when you look at classics, right? Look at classics, 2006 when it first started, our classics line. All G1. Wave 2, all G1. Wave 3, all G1. Then when it became Universe 2.0, all G1. Then they introduced Cheetor. Oh, we got Cheetor now. Then they gave us Dinobot. And that was it. Then when it became Generations, they gave us, oh, here's an Armada character, here's an IDW character. Like, as the line progressed, they started dipping into other things. But initially, it was all G1 because at the time in 2006, the G1 guys were in their early 30s, late 20s. So it's all about focusing on the demo, the market, who has the money. If a crystal ball told Hasbro, hey, G1 is not the way to go, all the G1 collectors have, mortgages and bills to pay, they're going to shift. They're going to move it elsewhere. Yeah, there'll probably be 1 or 2 G1 toys still, just to like keep those trademarks. Oh man, we got to do Skids. We don't want to lose that. But at the end of the day, they're going to go where the money is. So there has to be a mixture because it makes everyone happy at least. At least that's how I can answer that, Ben Williams, do you think the reason that people like Prime versus Prime to get hit hard by Hasbro. Let's put it this way: the only way that he'll ever get taken down is Hasbro's going to have to contact YouTube to flag all his videos and just remove his partnership. And I'll tell you this: nothing kills a channel like taking away its monetization. All of a sudden, they're not going to want to do anything. I have seen that many times with talented people who, like, they do YouTube reviews of, like, footage of stuff. It happened recently to a Dragon Ball guy. I forget his name, but Mark, I think it is. Dragon Ball reviewer. He had a whole bunch of reviews and stuff, but he would use footage from Dragon Ball from Toei, and Toei demonetized his whole channel and ruined him. He's done, you know? And some of these guys, they're money incentive, like they're pushed by money. And if they're not able to make money anymore, especially when you're someone who pays big money to steal a deluxe toy for $150. At that case, you know, he's not going to want to do that anymore. You know, so that's how you kill him. Or you kill him in real life. No, not again, Daniel. That's the old you. Anyways. Michael Koo with the super chat for 5 bones. Is there an interesting story on we got all the well-known actors for TF the movie? Is there an interesting story on we got all the well-known actors for TF the movie? I don't understand what you're asking, Michael. How we got all the TFG1 voice actors from the movie? Most of them aren't even with us anymore. Orson Welles passed away. Leonard Nimoy passed away. The voice of Cup, Lionel Standard, passed away. John is still with us. Hot Rod, a.k.a. Judd Nelson, is still with us. Blur, John is still with us. Sue Blue is still with us. Peter's still with us, although his character died early in the movie. Frank's still with us. I'm trying to think... the catch-alls. I don't know. Ask the question again, Michael. Tom Laney, 2 things. Got email from Hasbro Pulse. Black Zarek is pushed to March. Yeah, Jason, one of my buddies, told me also he pre-ordered it, and it got pushed back to March. And the 3-pack Tetrajet from Siege have been popping up at the same time with Earthrise 2-packs, Thundercracker, and Skyward. That's fantastic news because that gives people a cheap opportunity. That gives them Robert Stack, that's another one. I have like all their autographs. I'm just trying to remember. A lot of those guys aren't around anymore. Well, TFCon LA, I'm pretty sure they're going to try to get whoever they could get to come. But, as time progresses, a lot of those guys are in their 60s. Look, Buster Jones, Blaster, was in the movie. He's not with us anymore. Scatman Crothers, granted, he passed away many years ago, but he's not with us anymore. Starscream, Chris Latta, not with us anymore. It's getting thin. It's getting thin. When you meet those G1 guys, give them some love, man, because you don't know what the future brings, especially with the bad luck of the future we have now. Got only 40 minutes left, man. We've been flying today. We have been flying today. Tom Laney, wonder how they decided on which figures to reissue. Still need the Conehead reissues. They actually did a Conehead reissue not too long ago. Would like to have the Predaking reissue. Reissues are, apparently, they say they do it by voting. But I also feel it probably has to do with trademarks and what molds are available. I'm pretty sure, if they were in a situation where they were like, oh man, best example, Headmasters. Hasbro, then the design team are sitting around going like, we're probably not going to use Chrome Dome, Hardhead, Brainstorm, or any of these Headmaster names, Highbrow, for a long while. We're probably not going to do anything with those for a while. But we got to do something because the trademark expired, it rolled over, and we got to use it once. And then we have our reissue line, Headmaster Retro reissue line. So sometimes I feel those decisions are based on that. Sometimes they're based on voting. Supposedly Blaster was part of the voting and how we got that and that kind of stuff. That's one of the ways. The Predaking reissue that they did was really good because it actually gave an extra accessory that the old toy didn't have. Gave a sword that came with Transformers Prime, Optimus Prime. Brand new, unique, big sword, which was pretty cool. Yeah, Larry's right. Jack Angel passed away too. Rest in peace, Jack. He was a really funny dude. Really cool dude. Sam with the super chat. Again, Sam with the 5 pesos. Not pesos. 5 British pounds. Sam says, have you a preference for fight scenes, shootouts, sword play, sword powers? Personally, I'm a huge fan of hand-to-hand martial art fights. I find that the best fights that were ever in Transformers history were always the one-on-one slugfest fights. Like, look, number 1, Optimus Prime. Optimus Prime against Megatron. That was just them beating the hell out of each other. Dinobot. Death of Dinobot Season 2 Beast Wars. He just was like guerrilla warfare style, just crushing everybody, practically killing himself in the process. Here's a weird one that a lot of people don't realize. The last episode of Transformers Armada, the episode called Mortal Kombat, that's what it was called, Megatron and Optimus beating the hell out of each other. Like Optimus took a pipe that was in his chest, ripped it out, swung it around Bruce Lee style. Amazing fight too. Starsaber versus Deathsaurus, Transformers Victory, the final battle. Oh my god, probably the most violent fight in all of Transformers. What a slugfest. Them just beating the hell out of each other. And then, I don't want to spoil that one. That one ends also a melee fight. So I love those, not shooting. I'm not a big gun guy. It's too distant kind of thing. It's really like that hand-to-hand combat stuff. And it leads to good choreography. And it just looks cool. Just looks cool. Just looks cool. Even a character like Starsaber with swords and stuff, like they managed to put punching in there, pushing, grabbing, all kinds of stuff. Really, really cool. So I'd have to go with that. What was another good one-on-one fight? It's not the best animated one, but Soundwave versus Blaster, their very final battle in Headmasters. They just kind of bust each other up too. That's another good one. I know I'm forgetting a bunch, but those are just some examples. Not my top 5, but it's definitely some good examples. We got a gold super chat from the Podski. Podski wants to know, do you collect Marvel Legends or DC Direct figures? Marvel Legends, yes, I do. Specifically, specific figures. I'm very picky. The last Marvel Legends I bought was the cartoon edition, like they did the cartoon packaging Spider-Man of Black Cat. I think that was the last Marvel Legends I got. I must be forgetting something. No, I think that was the last Marvel Legends I got. I am eyeing, they showed that Iron Fist Sabretooth, his first appearance in Iron Fist number 14. Anyway, Sabretooth's first appearance was in an Iron Fist comic book, so they did a toy based on that design. I'm tempted to get that one, because that one looks really cool, because that design was very influential on how they kind of did the design afterwards for the animated series. Obviously, you had the cowl in the animated series, but it was very similar and kind of sleek, and the browns and stuff like that on his design. So really like that one. I think it was Paternia, the Twitter account, that posted that news and those images online. Looks really good. Looks really good. I probably will pick up that one. I also picked up Guardian not too long ago. Silver Sable was another one I picked up. I pick them up, certain characters that I really like. That are must-have. Oh, how could I forget? Yeah, I got the Thanos Infinity Gauntlet one. I picked up that one too, that box set one there, based off of the Jim Starlin release. That one I got too also. That was probably my last Legends pickup, probably. I don't remember if it was the Black Cat or I think it was the Thanos one. But I love Marvel Legends. It's just that there's only so much space and money a human being could spend. So I just pick up this and that. When it comes to DC Direct, DC I'm really picky. It has to be Nightwing, Huntress, or Wally West Flash. Those are my boys and girl. Outside of that, it has to be some real deep, give me an icon, milestone figure and I'll buy him. That'd be cool. Or give me, because they never really made a good one of him. They only made Hero Clicks. Give me, it has to be a deep cut. Has to be some deep cut stuff from DC, and then I'll really be on board. Give me some really deep cut DC stuff. But yeah, hope that answers that a little bit. Michael Koo says, final battle, Starsaber versus Deathsaurus. Starsaber goes all out with his entire arsenal. Yeah, if I had to pick the number one battle in all of Transformers history, one-on-one, it's that one with Dinobot's final stand a close second place. But that Starsaber final battle, man, woo, amazing. It's like they took the whole budget. And you know what? I think they did, because Transformers Victory was supposed to be a traditional 52-episode anime series, but they had a lot of clip episodes that were put in there in between, like they're just like cheap. And I think they used that to kind of save the budget for like later episodes to really go all out. That's what I think probably happened. Michael Koo with the super chat. When Peter Cullen recorded lines for Optimus Prime and Ironhide scenes, was he talking to himself? Yes, he was. Forget Peter Cullen, Frank Welker. Frank Welker would be Rumble talking to Soundwave, who is also both himself. And then Soundwave would be talking to Megatron, who would both be himself. You know, Frank was talking to himself all the time. You know, way more. I think Ironhide and Optimus Prime maybe have, trying to think, like 3 scenes in all of G1, not counting the movie. The movie he has the scene too where they talk to each other. But I mean, Frank Welker was doing it practically every episode. So for sure, definitely talking to themselves, for sure. I'm trying to think of like who other, like, you know, another good example. Look at Scott McNeil, Rat Trap and Dinobot. And all the times those two are arguing and going back and forth, and that's one dude doing both of that, you know? Like, I mean, when he's doing Silverbolt, he has Venus to play off of, who's Black Arachnia. But when he was Dinobot pickering with Rat Trap, that's all him. So props to him. Media Max wants to know, Proto, any updates on the Starsaber production? They showed the I'll finish the rest of your thing here. Do any of the inside info happy for Hasbro? Excuse me. Do you have any inside info on how happy Hasbro has been with these HasLab projects? What is up with that Rancor failure? I'll talk about the Rancor failure first. The reason why the Rancor failure happened, too much stuff for the Black Series collectors. Their wallets are burned out. Like, you think, like, and I always tell Transformer collectors this. You think being a Transformer collector is expensive? Try being a Star Wars collector. If you're a Star Wars collector, there is just too much coming out. Too much. And, I mean, you just look, who had the most HasLab stuff? Star Wars. They had the Razor Crest. They had the Rancor. And then they had, before all of that, they had that gigantic sail barge. So anyone that was a Star Wars collector that put money into HasLab, that was like, we use the term whales because they have all the money. Even them were going like, ooh, I don't know if I have money for that Rancor. You know, people were saying, oh, it was because the tiers weren't good or this and that. Nah, man, like, they just weren't feeling it. It was too much money, and it was too much money too frequently. You got to give people at least like a year or maybe 2 years to recover from those big products. I mean, Starsaber was a much, you know, I still think Starsaber was overpriced, but look how much cheaper he was compared to what Unicron was. They saw what happened with Unicron, and they went, ooh, we're going to dial it back. We're not going to do a Primus. You know, if Unicron was like a crazy success and it got funded right away and was zillions of dudes, they would have done Primus right away afterwards. But even Unicron was kind of like, I don't know. So just to cover that, yeah, like, you know, and, you know, any behind the stuff, just we're seeing images of the molds. Hopefully it'll be available to everyone in 2022. I'm being sent a sample. I don't know how my version's going to be, if my version's going to have the extras. So, or if it's even going to be the final product done properly. Like, I don't know if I'm going to have like the little Micromasters with it. It's just being a sample sent to me. So we'll see. We shall see. We shall see when that time comes. Ben Williams, has there ever been a toy of Bumblebee with the spare wheel and built-in jack from Ultimate Doom? Well, the spare wheel is the masterpiece, has the spare wheel. The built-in jack, no. No, the built-in jack. The closest thing you could even say is a jack is when we had the repaint from the 4-pack from Buzzworthy Bumblebee, where they used the Cliff Jumper mold and has those skis. So you could kind of say, oh, those skis are Jack's, you know? But that's about it. That's about it, really. That is about it. And then, like I said, the first Masterpiece had the spare wheel on the back. Just kind of being true to the original Volkswagen Beetle 1967 and its aesthetic, which then, of course, was taken away when they did the Masterpiece 2.0 Bumblebee. Yeah. Andy Davis says, my birthday is tomorrow. Well, happy birthday, Andy, early. What would Hot Rod ask for a gift for his birthday? If it was young Hot Rod, RC. I think he liked RC. Or RC liked Hot Rod. I don't know. I think he would, Hot Rod seemed like a guy who always liked, people always associate Hot Rod with fishing, but it seems like he was very uninterested in fishing. It seems more like he just kind of likes action and stuff. Hot Rod seems like a racing kind of character. He probably would have just loved, for a gift, an oil change of high synthetic oil and Energon, something like that, I would imagine. An engine tune-up for his hot-rodded engine, tune up his engine. He'd ask, Wheeljack to tune up his engine. Bore out those cylinders and change the gasket so it's getting good compression. Put a P-flow so it has good airflow. But then he'd have to also change his muffler, which, let's just say he has quite a few muffler exhausts anyways, so I'm pretty sure he's getting very good exhaust compression. That's one way to look at it. But happy birthday, Andy. Happy birthday. Happy early birthday. You're one of those unlucky few that were born very close to Christmas and probably had parents that used that as an excuse to not give you a big present 2 times a year. If you were born like in the summer, you had your birthday, you could get one present, and then Christmas you could get another. When you have it close together, it's like all in one. Unless your parents were awesome like that and they didn't play that game. Because I knew a few friends that were born around Christmas, and they got screwed. Princeton, I'm also a Star Wars collector. The Star Wars HasLab was failure because there was too many HasLabs going on at once. That too, I do agree, that too. There was a lot of stuff going on at once. So if you were someone who collected multiple brands, you had to make your decision. If you were a Hasbro Pulse person who really liked, Star Wars, but also like Marvel, this and that, like there's that Galactus, and you're going like, ooh, I'm going to, Galactus, Rancor. I'm going to go with Galactus, So people got screwed. You have to pace it out. Not everyone has crazy wallets with tons of money in it. And I mean, pacing is key. You can't do binges. You know what I mean? Ben Williams, I think he would have asked to have never heard of the Matrix. Never heard of the Matrix? You know what? Maybe. I don't think Hot Rod ever wanted to be leader. I think he wanted to be a leader, but I don't think he wanted to be the leader. You know what I mean? I think that's what it was. And the responsibility was a big thing for him. Princeton Phalanx 59, the Rancor was overpriced, and the tiers were also garbage. Everyone says the tiers were garbage. I do agree the tiers were lackluster, much like Star Saber. But at the same time, I felt at least the tiers felt like tiers. You know what I mean? Like, to me, at least I felt the stuff that came with the Rancor felt like extras. You know what I mean? It felt like it was something that was extra, that wasn't something like, no, that should have been given from the start. The stuff that came with Star Saber should have been given some from the start. It's like, this was Star Saber. It's like, here's your HasLab, here's your tier. Like, it was just, that was the problem with the Star Saber. Where the extras that came with the Rancor didn't feel too bad. But I do agree they weren't like, wow, amazing either. But, and the price was it, I don't know, how big would that Rancor be? It would have been like, yeah, actually, no, it probably would have been like Sentinel sized, I would imagine. That like 20-inch kind of tall figure. Yeah, I guess maybe a little bit overpriced. Probably, the articulation would have been not too crazy. Stinkfist69 with the gold super chat. What's your thoughts on Robert Kirkman's company most likely getting the Transformers G.I. Joe comic line? Would you rather IDW keep them or happy if they are losing them? Keep it thick, Proto. Look, I said it before. IDW didn't play by the rules. As someone who works with licensors on Hasbro product, and Hasbro has rules that are applied to their product, like, hey, we're happy you want to license our product, but we have rules on how we want our characters represented. When you don't follow those rules, are you going to piss off these multi-billion-dollar companies? Of course you will. IDW, who already was kind of not having a good time to begin with, and not counting the Transformer brand, kind of also wasn't playing with the rules with some of the other Hasbro stuff, which Hasbro wasn't too happy about. Robert Kirkman, rock and roll, man. Let's see you do it, brother. I want to see it. I'm happy to see him do it, and I'm happy to see a different take on Transformers. And I hope he rocks it good. But play by the rules. That's all I'm going to say. NDA, but play by the rules. I think Tom Laney said something too. Tom Laney, I think they will revisit the Rancor later, I'm sure. Yeah, you know what? I think like Rancor, they're gonna try to make some retail version. They'll like talk to like GameStop or somewhere that has like a platform that they could put that kind of stuff, and they'll just be like, look, we'll do it slightly smaller, or we'll do it that it's you have to build it. Like, if anyone remembers, Black Series had the TIE Fighter. If anyone remembers that huge TIE Fighter. But luckily, because the TIE Fighter, like, I wish I had a TIE Fighter toy nearby to show you, but because it has those wings that are like flat, the TIE Fighter was assemblable. You know what I mean? You kind of could assemble it. I'm pretty sure they'll figure out a way that they could disassemble the Rancor, and you just have to build it together. And by disassembling it, it could be in a smaller, more compact box. So something like GameStop will have the shelving space to have it. Maybe they'll have 4 per store, and they'll do pre-orders. And through the pre-orders, they'll do that. And then every store will have 4 per store that are not pre-orders. That'll just be there, and that'll be that. So that's one way to do it, because we don't have Toys R Us anymore. We don't have, well, we technically do. They're kind of slowly starting to try to bring them back to the States. But we don't have Toys R Us anymore where you could have this 9,000 square foot store where you could put a Black Series TIE Fighter like back in the day that would have that kind of shelving space, you know? Or those big, remember the big Ninja Turtle? Remember the Nickelodeon Ninja Turtles? They had like those huge, like what were they, like 3 feet tall articulated figures of Raphael, Donatello, Michelangelo, and Leonardo? Like, remember those? Like every like Toys R Us had like 2 of those there, like, you know, just standing on the end cap. How much were those? Those were like $120 or something, no? Would have loved to own a Raphael. That would have been cool. But yeah, you know, that's one way I could see them. They could bring it there. They could do something with that. There's always opportunities. There's always opportunities to kind of do that stuff. Man, I got a lot of messages today on my phone. There's a lot of opportunities to do that kind of stuff, but you have to find the right retailer that's willing to do that. Oh, here, Jaws D, who's not super chatting or YouTube member, but he's one of our hosts, so I'll read his. Jaws D says, crap, I was under a rock. I didn't know Robert Kirkman is doing the TF Comics. Not yet. He recently rumored is going to be getting it, so we're going to see what's going to be happening with that. That'll probably be... I know he's someone who's a good businessman, let's put it this way, and good businessmen know how to handle the licensing rules. That's very important. Very important. When you're dealing with a property that isn't yours, that's a very good way to lose it very quickly and lose millions of dollars, you know? So it's not a way to do it. Michael Koo with the super chat. How does Hasbro decide to pull a Dreamwave or IDW character into the Transformers line if they feel that there's a demand? You know, Drift was probably the first example of that. If you don't want to count Sunstorm, because that's kind of fanon meets canon. Drift was the first example of that. We're like, hey, we have this character Drift. We're really excited about him. You know, Shane McCarthy, Alex Milne. Why don't we do something? And they bring it in. And then they also go, hey, and with this drift mold, we can then repaint it. We'll get a blur out of it. We'll get this out of it. We'll get that out of it. It really is just depending if it belongs, if it makes sense. In the case of Dreamwave, the Fallen. You can barely see him, but he's right there. There's the Fallen. That was Don Figueroa. Don Figueroa, who worked for Dreamwave at the time, he had the Titanium's line, and he's specifically the 6-inch, and he's like, hey, have fun, Don. Put some ideas. So we got a whole bunch of War Within stuff in there, which I think is fantastic. I mean, the Titanium's line is not without its flaws and engineering, but it gave us designs that we've never seen since. So it's all a matter of the people behind it and if they feel that there's a good chance and platform to do it. Not to mention, by Don doing The Fallen and a trademark happening, then led to a certain Michael Bay movie afterwards. So it all worked out in the end from also a copyright and trademark standpoint. We have I guess it's Zoner Hesso. I apologize if I said it wrong. Do you think Studio Series Long Haul will be redecoed into Payload and Scavenger into Demolisher? I don't remember if Hasbro still has those trademarks or not. Payload they do have. Demolisher they do have still, both of them. And Hasbro said that they will be doing non-appearing Studio Series characters in the future. So I'd bet on it. I think it will happen. They said that they want to do video game appeared characters, toy exclusive characters. So I would bet on it for sure. You'll get those color schemes at some point. Demolisher, that's a bigger price point. Maybe they'll make it a Hasbro Pulse exclusive or something. Because usually when you have those bigger price points, they want to save it for the case assortments of big characters. It is Zonoriso. Sorry about that. Zonoriso. Tom Laney wants to know, does Hasbro Pulse have a deal with GameStop? I've been getting quite a bit of Generation Selects from them. Hasbro Pulse, it's not really that they have a deal with GameStop, as GameStop has a deal with any closeout people. GameStop, and specifically EB Games, its Canadian equivalency, are able to sometimes talk to different companies that have dead stock of something, and it just shows up there. Hasbro Pulse stuff is ridiculously cheap to package, ridiculously cheap to print, and ridiculously cheap to engineer. So it's also ridiculously cheap to ship, because look how simple these boxes are. You just stack them and you ship them. And they're corrugated cardboard, so they're strong, so you don't have to worry about bubbles getting damaged or crushed or anything like that. So there's something that's very desirable by closeout places. Actually, funny story, this War for Cybertron Hasbro Pulse Shattered Optimus and Ratchet came from Winners. $29.99 Canadian, another closeout place. So places that are, the term that they don't use this term anymore within Hasbro, but back in the day, Market 6. Market 6 refers to stuff that was outside of the Big Five. Unfortunately, the Big Five doesn't exist anymore. That's why the term Market 6 doesn't exist anymore. But back in the day, it was Walmart, Target, Toys R Us, KB Toys, and I believe the last one. What was the last one? I'm trying to remember the last one. I think it was Kmart, but I could be wrong. Those were the important fives. And then Market 6 was everything outside of it. So those Market 6 guys, the Walgreens, the small stores, they're the ones that used to get the weird products, the closeout products, the leftover products. That's not the case anymore. So we will see what happens. Jaws D says, and GameStop is in the USA and Canada now. Yeah, there's some GameStops. Kmart, yeah, Kmart is probably the last one. That's what I figured. Probably was Kmart. And again, now because a lot of those that I listed aren't with us anymore, KB Toys being one of them, especially, which hurts the most. I loved KB Toys. Yeah. Oof, man, no KB. That's the one. Like, even Toys R Us being gone is one thing, but KB Toys being gone, man, the deals. Jaws D says here, he's a fan. There's a video of him on iFanboy hunting for MP1 Optimus at San Diego Comic-Con when it first US MP1 came out. Ah, well then. It's in good hands then. It's in good hands. Good. Not just someone with an agenda. That's some good stuff. That's some good stuff. Stinkfist69, I finally ordered Commander Class Hot Rod. Will actually be Rodimus. Commander Class Rodimus today off of Amazon. I still need to get the Space Odyssey Lifeline and Ratchet, which is going for around 100 now. Really? Oof, man. Those, actually it was Galactic Odyssey collection. Those Galactic Odyssey collection stuff, man. Man, oh man. That stuff just went super pricey. And the ones that I love the most, like those Micromaster sets, which I still keep them on my desk, no one cared about those ones, which is hilarious. Because that was the best one. That was the best one. We got 15 minutes left, guys, with the super chats. Should we open up one more present? Should we? Should we open up one more? Should we? Guys, should we open up one more or should we save for next week? Should we save for next week? What should we do? I do not know. We got 15 minutes left. We shall see. I'll open up a smaller one, maybe. One of the ones that are less obvious with a box. Because there's a lot that are shaped like you know what. You know what I mean? So maybe we'll open one of the ones that are not so obvious. There's one back here. Not so obvious one here. Should we? Yeah, okay, people are saying we should open it. All right, so we got another one here. Another boxed one that isn't so obvious, if you know what I mean. So, I don't know. Let us see what it is. Let us see what it is from Mikey and Louie. Mikey and Louie. Alrighty. Oh, looks like it's going to be a Generation Selects. But which Generation Selects? Hot Shot. Oh, shit. Oh, snap. It's that Hot Shot. Oh, snap. It's the Cybertron one based off of his EDC design. Oh, never got this one either. That is real cool. Oh, now I got to do a photo shoot with the old one. Oh, that's going to be my Instagram tomorrow for sure. You just got a preview of the Instagram tomorrow. That's the one that's based off of the Ironhide mold. Look at that. Oh, and there he goes. That is awesome. Thank you guys. Oh my goodness. That is so cool. That's so cool. What's this sticker here? Oh, it looks like it came from another store too. Toys and Collectibles. $24.99. I hope he's still that price. I hope he's not that expensive. I want people to be able to get Transformers cheap. Oh my god, what a mess here. Gotta protect. Hold on. Gotta protect this Wreck-It Ralph wrapping paper. Look at that. That is adorable. That is so cool. I'm gonna wreck it. I'm gonna wreck my room. It's a mess here. It's a mess. All the paper everywhere. Thank you so much, guys. Oh my god. Look at that. So to reiterate, got Hot Shot. Got Ironworks. Got Rodimus. We got Getaway. And why do I feel like I'm forgetting something? Oh, we got Cindersaur. No, he just got on the wire. Cindersaur. And this is the MVP of the day. We got Ravage. That's awesome. That is awesome. Thank you again, Mikey and Louie, with all the presents. And we're going to continue this more next week for sure. For sure. Crazy stuff. And we'll do more giveaways too. You know, I want to give away to you guys also. Make sure everyone gets cool stuff this holiday season. And thank again all the people that have supported the podcast. Everyone that has been YouTube members, Patreon people who super chat are the lifeblood of the streams, you know. Do you save or reuse wrapping paper? No, I don't. It's not that. It's just because, obviously, look, you know, they have, Spider-Man. Actually, you know, what am I doing? I could just show the gift box here. They have, a lot of really cool stuff that they, included. And it's just like some of this wrapping paper, like, man, the Super Mario, I love Super Mario. Like, I'm a big Mario guy. And like, that is some sexy wrapping paper. Let me just tell you, like, I don't want to like, look at, you got, let me see what's on here. Look, you got a Babam. That's from Mario 2, so cool. A Chain Chomp, from Mario 3 when he made his debut. So cool. Some of them, it's like, I just want to like save the design of the wrapping paper, because who knows if you ever see that again. Michael Koo says, Protoman, great stream tonight. Thank you, Michael. I hope it was entertaining. I hope it was entertaining to you guys. Last week we had a guest. Jaws D was supposed to be the guest today, but he kind of came late. So we'll have Jaws D again real soon. We're going to have our top 5 Transformers, so we'll definitely do something with that. Again, like I said, guys, next week we'll see what we're going to do. We're going to see what we're going to do with the stream, because I want to do another stream, but it's like Friday is going to be Christmas Eve, Saturday's Christmas, and Sunday we're going to do something else. We're going to do something special for Sunday, because it's, anyone who knows the podcast, we do our top 5. So I want to try to fit something in. I just don't know what and how and when. So if there's a certain day during the week that you think would be best, like a Tuesday or a Wednesday, I want to hear it. I'm gonna post. I'm gonna do a poll. And I'm gonna put it on the community tab of the podcast on the channel, and we'll see what they think is the best day for it. Princeton says, "Hey, Protoman, Commander Magnus is asking you if you think Transformers Prime will come back." I think that Transformers Prime is going to get celebrated, but much like, did Beast Wars ever come back? Did Animated ever come back? We'll get toys that celebrate those brands, but I don't think they'll ever come back. A lot of these brands, unfortunately, they're going to come back like Beast Wars. They'll come back in comic book form. They'll find some writer that could really flesh out a season 4 story of any of those, which is kind of ironic. Season 4 Animated, season 4 Transformers Prime, season 4 Beast Wars. I could see kind of those things happening. Hump Day equals podcast day. You're saying a Wednesday, eh? I don't know. I do not know. I'll have to see. Again, I'm going to ask people. It really depends on what the majority is, what works for everybody. Stinkfist69 says, do you think Transformers Prime will come back in a new season? I doubt it. I really doubt it. Transformers Prime was really expensive to produce, too. People need to realize it was not a cheap show to put together. And I'm pretty sure Hasbro wants to do stuff a little cheaper. That's why that's why what we got with Netflix. Let's put it that way. Ben Williams, I know you love Beast Wars, but if you could choose any TF continuity to live in, which one would it be? And would it just be Beast Wars? No, it would be Master Force, because the humans then could be part of the battle. If I lived during Beast Wars, think about it. I'd have to live with the proto-humans, a bunch of apes eating berries and having to kill for my food. I'd weigh like 10 pounds by the end of the season 1. Yeah, sure, like Cheetor and them are cool, but they don't need to eat, technically, I'd have to like befriend Cheetor to kill some food for me or something, or Dinobot. We're living during the Master Force continuity, Master Force technically is happening right now, technically, because Devil Z came around in 2020, and then in 2021, Master Force happened. So I'd live in Master Force. I'd get to be a Headmaster Junior or a Power Master, God on, I wouldn't ask for anything better. Give me a Formula 1 race car, nice red one, and I'll be a Godmaster, like Road King. Stinkfist69, I got your favorite character, Hot Rod, the Commander class, off of Amazon. Well, Amazon is a good place to get it, because I heard he was on sale at one point. I think he sold out, though, at that price. He was on sale, wasn't he? Him and the Ark were on sale at one point at crazy prices, but then everything got eaten up, got completely eviscerated. We got 4 minutes left. Oh, man. We got 4 minutes left. I'm going to use this last 4 minutes just to, once again, thank my sponsors. Hasbro, go check out Netflix. Go check out YouTube. Watch Transformers Prime, Cyberverse. give them those algorithms. Let them know that you enjoy it. And, of course, Symbiote Studios for our pins, our T-shirts, our plush, and all the other Hasbro-related product that Symbiote Studios is putting out. Be sure to go to symbiotestudios.com and pick up a plush, pick up a Unicron. Have them chilling in the back there, judging you. You know, my bargaining posture is highly dubious, but very well. You will order from Symbiote Studios. symbiotestudios.com. Check the pin comment or description below. Podsky with the gold super chat. What's the most expensive and least expensive Transformers show to produce? Most expensive, probably at the time was Beast Wars. I believe they said it was $1.5 million an episode. Cheapest to produce. Let's keep in mind. Let's count actual TV shows, not short series. I'm gonna say season 3, G1, because it was ACOM Studios. And the reason why they went from Toei and Sunbow to ACOM was because Nelson Shin, who directed the 86 movie, said, "Come to my studio. I do it cheap." And boy, did he do it cheap. Let me tell you. So I'm going to say season 3 for sure. If not Generation 2, their episodes, but that doesn't count because they're just rehashes of old episodes. That cybernetic space cube probably wasn't too expensive compared to just repackaging all the season 1 and season 2 episodes. Ben William, is Christina coming back soon? We shall see. Depends with her schedule, not mine. You know, ladies are busy. I'm sitting around just like any day now. Stinkfist69, thanks Proto, and good night to everyone. Thank you, Stinkfist, for coming by and doing the super chats, my friend. And again, enjoy the Transformer you got in the mail, Cheetor. Let's see. Michael Koo, Kingdom Rodimus is still available for $80 on Amazon USA with Prime shipping. Well, there you go. Princeton, thanks for the stream, Proto Man. I think the next stream you could be Sunday night. Maybe. Again, it's on the 26th, and I kind of have another big thing for you guys planned for that. So I don't want to double dip on big stuff. Kind of like to pace it out throughout the week. ACOM Studios, yeah. ACOM Studios wasn't. Tom Laney, later all. Enjoy the rest of the weekend. Thank you. And I guess that's it, guys. I guess we're at the 2-hour mark, more or less. Thanks again, everyone who comes, who supports the podcast. Again, if you want to support the podcast, and I can't believe I actually turned off some of the other stuff here, but socials, super chats, all of that. Not super chats, but everything else. Down below, join the Patreon, help support the podcast, or become a YouTube member. One or the other usually is the best way to help support the podcast if you have the ability to, if the finances are there for you. Help us do this daily craziness that we do every day in the Transformer world, giving you crazy stuff. Yes, it's going to be Boxing Day on the 26th, but that's not the reason why I'm busy that day. I think Boxing Day is usually not that great for deals. But then again, thanks again, everyone, for coming. Thanks for Aaron Archer for being here. Jaws D came in. There's Aaron. There's Aaron. Aaron came in. Everybody. Mikey's here. I think I saw Ninjatron was there too. All the people that came in. Larry is here too, I still think. I'm not sure. I can't see the full list of everyone. And John, my mod, for helping out with everything. All the patrons, all the super chats, all the YouTube members. Thank you so much for coming. And again, like always, see you next week. Maybe we'll see. And roll out.